On November 23rd, a massive volcanic explosion rocked Ethiopia. The Hayli Gubbi volcano erupted for the first time in recorded history, a history that spans nearly 12,000 years. The blast was so powerful that people living kilometers away described it as sounding like a bomb. It sent an ash cloud soaring 50,000 feet into the sky so huge it was clearly visible from space. Looking at the satellite map, this colossal ash cloud first drifted towards Oman and Yemen, and then made its way to Pakistan and India. The fallout was immediate. Numerous flights in Delhi had to be cancelled. And for a good reason. Flying through volcanic ash is incredibly dangerous. The cloud is filled with tiny bits of rock, glass, and crystals. If these particles get sucked into an aircraft engine, they can melt and cause it to shut down mid-flight. They also act like sandpaper on the cockpit windows, scratching them so badly that pilots can lose all visibility. Besides India, many flights in the Middle East were also grounded. Now, the ash cloud is slowly making its way toward China and Myanmar. The power of this eruption was staggering. The sound of the explosion was heard in cities nearly 190 kilometers away. The neighboring country of Djibouti even felt the shockwaves like an earthquake. In Ethiopia's Afdera region, about 28 kilometers from the volcano, several villages were completely blanketed in ash. Fortunately, no human lives were lost. Why? Because nobody lives near the volcano. The area is extremely remote and is one of the hottest places on Earth, known as the Danakil Depression. This region lies below sea level, with temperatures often soaring to 50 or even 55 degrees Celsius, and it gets almost no rain. Despite the harsh conditions, it's a paradise for geologists and a magnet for adventurous tourists. Geologists love it because it's one of the most geologically active places on the planet, dotted with volcanoes. Tourists are drawn to its otherworldly landscapes. The ground is painted in vibrant yellows, greens, and blues from chemical reactions, making it look like a scene from another planet. So, what caused a volcano that has been dormant for thousands of years to suddenly erupt? The answer is truly mind-blowing. The African continent is literally splitting in two. Yes, you heard that right. The tectonic plates under this region are actively pulling apart, tearing the continent. Let's take a quick trip back in time. Millions of years ago, all the land on Earth was a single supercontinent called over eons Pangaea broke apart, forming the continents we know today. If we look at the African region, the African and Arabian plates were once joined. As they drifted apart, the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden were created. Right now, this process is happening again. The massive African plate is splitting into two smaller plates, the Nubian plate and the Somali plate. And where does the Hayli Gubbi volcano sit? Right at the junction of three tectonic plates, the Nubian, the Somali, and the Arabian plates. These three plates are all slowly pulling away from each other, creating deep cracks and fissures in the Earth's crust. This whole area is called the Afar Rift, part of the much larger East African Rift system. This massive rift stretches for nearly 6,000 kilometers, all the way from the Red Sea, down through Ethiopia, Kenya, Tanzania, and Mozambique. Geologists predict that this rift will eventually tear the African continent into two separate land masses. Now, when I say eventually, we're talking on a geological time scale millions of years. Scientists estimate the final split could happen in the next 5 to 10 million years. The plates are separating at a rate of 2 to 5 centimeters per year, which is about the same speed your fingernails grow. Even though it's slow, the process is incredibly dynamic. This entire region is a hotbed of geological activity. Many famous landmarks, like Mount Kilimanjaro and Mount Kenya, are part of this rift system. Ethiopia's famous Ethiopia volcano, with its permanent lava lake, is also here. Even the Great Lakes of Africa, like Lake Malawi and Lake Tanganyika, formed as the land stretched and sank. So, from a geological perspective, this recent eruption isn't surprising at all. As the plates continue to pull apart, we can expect more earthquakes, more volcanic eruptions, and more giant cracks opening up in the ground. In fact, we've already seen it happen. Whose last year in July 2025, the nearby Ertha volcano erupted. Evan Bakhtin scientists noticed white smoke rising from Hayli Gubbi and started monitoring it. And back in 2005, a massive 60-kilometer-long fissure tore open in this same part of Ethiopia in just 10 days. Photos from that event are incredible. showing people standing next to a crack that seems to stretch to the horizon. What we are witnessing is the birth of a new ocean and the slow, dramatic breakup of a continent happening right before our eyes. Thanks for watching. And if you found this as fascinating as I did, don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing stories about our planet.